be my last full moon on YouTube that I'll be communing with y'all with. And what better way to leave it than to leave it off with Aquarius. Now, for those of y'all that's looking at this video and you're like, "Crew, what do you mean this last video?" Well, if you haven't checked out my last video where I went live, if you can't find it, it's under my live tab. I will be leaving social media, at least mainstream social media. We talked a lot about which Aquarian themes of Pluto and Aquarius and this retrograde of like censorship and, everything happening with YouTube. And I just want to let y'all know this is deeper, much deeper than just the requirement of IDs on YouTube. I'm just at a point where just kind of tired of playing the back and forth games with, these big tech companies and things. And I know we're all still a part of this, regime in some way, shape, or form. But I feel like, especially just with this energy of Aquarius and this full moon energy, I think it's time for us to really start to think about how and what ways that we are connected, Aquarius, collectively, Aquarius, in digital spaces and also in physical spaces. And this is all under the guise of Aquarius energy. So I think today I'm going to do things a little bit differently. Before I start, like I said, for those of y'all that's checking in for the first time, what's going on? What's up? My name is Crew, aka Rainy Storm, aka Crew, aka Rainy Storm, checking in. I am your cosmic root work astrologer, specializing in evolutionary astrology. So if it's you coming in for the first time, what it is, what's up, welcome to my humble abode. Or for those of y'all that's checking back in, what it is, what's up. I hope y'all been doing good. I hope y'all been doing great. I hope y'all been doing well. I know this Mercury retrograde is definitely Mercury retrograding. Why are we in the midst of Leo season? It's like, it's my season. Why are you doing this to us? But anyway, it's good. It's all right. It's great. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing good. I wanted to just kind of go over some, we're going to call this Aquarian decentralization, right? Or Plutonian Aquarian decentralization. Now, I'm not going to go through every nook and cranny, when it comes to decentralization and how to, go and decentralize yourself. These are just some of the things that might, I would say, come up at this time. Like I said, if you haven't checked out the video, you can check out that video, the previous video that I dropped on my live. I talked a little bit about why I'm deciding to leave social media. Please feel free to leave comments down below under this video or the previous video that I made. If you would like a personal reading, you can find me. That link is also in the description box down below. And also, too, we have a Discord, available as well now, too. So if you want to connect, for the Substack, you don't need Substack in order to subscribe, to stay tuned. Also, if you would like to now for the Discord, you do need the app, I think, to subscribe to the Discord. But for the for the Substack, you don't need you don't need an email address in order to subscribe and stuff like that. So if you want to keep in touch and things, I have the link available, but I won't be dropping active. I won't be active until the Venus-Jupiter conjunction on the 12th of August. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's get into it. First and foremost, we're talking about censorship here, right? With this Pluto and Aquarius energy. Now, Pluto, in essence of itself, is where we see the death and the rebirth, right? This is where we see the severance, right? Or what I like to say, the cord cutting. You can also see great gains with Pluto. This is where we also talk about the psychological developments that are happening with Plutonian energy. Also, the 8th house themes, you can see this here too. But you can also see the dark side or the hidden aspects of one's nature with this Pluto, Plutonic energy, right? And so with that being said, as we are moving through this Aquarian energy and what's being illuminated during this full moon, it's not only censorship that is happening globally around the world, but also platforms completely collapsing over time, right? So, for example, because we were bringing up this idea of, I need water. I'm about to say like this. I've been drinking tamarind juice. I'm like, I'm quenched out. So, what you call it? The YouTube, right, is requiring IDs, and we'll be following up with other platforms that will also be requiring IDs. Now, I will say this: there are going to be some people who stay, and there's going to be some people who go. I'm one of those people who is deciding it's time for me to get my ass on. All right, it's time for me to pack it up and take it somewhere else, right? And, you know, it's other ways to do this, and so I want to kind of get ahead of the game. I've been talking about this for I don't know how long, and so I think this is giving me personally the push to go ahead and start to really live in this fully, you know, in integrating, I should say, this decentralized life, right? Also, too, we're going to see a lot of things with like AI, the shadow effects of AI technology, where we've already been seeing, and also not only AI, y'all, but also our phones. All right. I know we've gotten into this, and I've seen a lot of discord about AI and things like that, and woo bam. But our phones are also in all these other technologies that we're connected to, cell phone towers, all of that stuff. All of this is part of the greater regime. All right. So let's never get it twisted as if it's just this overarching theme of this particular piece. There's many pieces to this puzzle, all right? And it doesn't just start at AI. Like our technology, we've been under surveillance, we've been under control, you know, our security, our privacy has been breached a long time ago. You'd be surprised. I actually watched a documentary years ago. I didn't finish it, but I watched a documentary years ago that talked about all the ways we are being tracked. From the biggest things to the smallest things, you'd be surprised how we are constantly and consistently being tracked through our devices, right? And through different devices that we own, okay? So I'm just putting that out there. Smartphone this, smartphone that, smart this, smart that. Not so smart, but you carry it in your wallet, tracked, right? Yeah, those things as well too. Chips, all of that. So just to put that out there, right? So we have not only ID requirements, facial recognitions, restrictions on who earns what, who gets what, who has access to things. I don't know if y'all seen that episode. This is coming to me right now of Black Mirror, okay? And where they had an episode where people were being like, I can't remember it fully, but I just remember people's status was like by their stars. So you give somebody like 3 stars and then they don't have access to this. You give somebody 4 stars and they don't have access to this. So everybody was like curated on their interaction, right? And they say this, I think in parts of, don't get me lying, but I think there's like something like this going on in parts of China, if I'm not mistaken, like social status. I don't know exactly what it's called, but you could also see that here as well too. All right. So we're going to start to see and look for alternative, which is one of the reasons why I made this video. So we'll see not only crypto, but the blockchain itself, trying to maneuver ways to do that. We'll see gold, like people going back to gold or minerals, resources, materials from the land, bartering and trade. Okay. We'll see Web3, which is something I've been kind of learning off and on, Web3 tools. If you haven't got into it already, I would advise you to do so. Even on the littlest aspects, if you could take, there's free courses everywhere that you could take to learn Web3. You can build a bear, right? AKA, or you don't have to build a bear. You can just learn simple tools, you know what I mean? But also it's going to be in complete and direct opposition with big tech companies trying to put it down. Right? So we're at the point now where we're going to be forced eventually, for some of us, not all, but to decentralize from the mainstream content, from the mainstream platforms, I should say. And then we'll see, you know, people coming up with their own coins, you know, people wanting to come up with their own broadcasting, independent media, communications, Uranus and Gemini, very independent, you know, so this is going to be that window of opportunity to be able to do so. Do not wait. If you're watching this, y'all, do not wait till it happens. All right. Do not put yourself in a position to wait until the structures fall, until the structures crumble. I don't want you to be on that side of it. At least, if you can, little by little, piece by piece, if you could put it together, one little piece at a time, if you could, to get these things in motion and get these things together. Because I'm telling you, when it crumbles, it's gonna crumble, right? That's why do you think that we have in a lot of these power outages and things like that? It's not for nothing, right? This is the test before it all happens, right? And you're not going to be 100% ready when it does. You're not going to have all the answers sway. You know what I mean? Don't worry about that. Just start getting into the mental space and to the planning spaces of what would you do if and when, right? That's what I want y'all to get into the mentality of right now, all right? So then we'll start to see the restructuring, right, of society where we go completely digital, because it's going to happen eventually. But not everybody will go completely digital. You'll see some people that are still off the grid, all right, moving between worlds, all right. So the crypto coins, the stock market crash, right, eventually we'll see migration, so people moving to different cities. We're seeing it now, people moving out the country. You know what I mean? People moving, to different cities, different places, I would advise, if you could get by some place that has some type of bank, some type of river, some type of access to water, I would highly consider it and build you some type of water filtration system, okay? I know it's I know it's not the easiest system to build, but start to learn, okay? I'm just going to put that out there. Do with that information what you will, all right? All right. Then we'll see alternative, communities and things like that. We'll see, people, like I said, the barter and trade, skills for food, trade, things like that. New ways and forms of travel as well here too. So keeping this in mind as we are integrating, growing your own food, building your own pieces, people getting back to skills. Skills, your gifts, your abilities will be, if you're listening to this, if this doesn't apply to you and you're like, I don't know, crew, this ain't for you, baby. It ain't for you. But for the ones that's here and you listening to this, your skills, the things that you know how to do, and not just who you are, right? But also the things that you know how to do, right? Because again, I say this is who you are because I could go to the same person, or I could see two people in the market selling the same thing, okay? But if I mess with this person's, personality, and I don't mess with this person's personality or the energy that they got going on, I'm not buying from them. I'm not getting that fish from you, bruh. Okay? I'm not getting that 2-piece in a yam from you, baby. So I gotta really, jive with your energy and same thing with 2 readers. I could see 2 readers on the block. And it might be one reader that my energy meshes with them, and it might not be. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm talking about. So get your cookies up, step your cookies up. All right. Get some skills, get some trades, get some things, and things that you're passionate about doing, like things that you could do without money. If you could do those things without money, you could, and that's what I love about barter and trade, because it brings us back to the things that we're naturally good at, that we're naturally skilled at, that we're naturally passionate about. All right. So step your cookies up in whatever those things are, and know that it'll be highly valued, especially as we're moving through physical or back to physical and analog dog times. Shout out to my millennials once again. I know y'all probably that ain't millennials probably watching like, dang, she always got to talk about millennials, because I am a millennial. Okay? And we does this. We know this life. We've been in this life. All right? So yeah, I'm going to shout out to us all day, every day. Anyway, so then we move into the fully digitized and also fully surveillance states. We're already in the fully surveillance states. I'm pretty sure my CIA agent is watching me right now. Like, this girl just can't just stop running her mouth. Hey, welcome to the show. You know what I mean? Here we are. You know what I mean? So they want to make sure that we're not taking over the regime and that they keep the power, and they want to study us because we're just so glamorous and great, and they just can't get enough, even though they claim to hate us so bad and tell us to go back to our countries and all this type of stuff, but they just love to watch us every day. I know, me too. I would do it too if it was me on the other side of the screen, because probably don't have anything else to do. But anyway, so yeah, we'll see the rebirth of communities, towns, stewardships, going back to the indigenous roots, right? The internet will also be kind of, and I've talked about this many, many times before over the years, right? We'll find new ways. They won't be just the internet that we see now, but we'll have new ways where there will be a split. There will be big tech company internet, and then there'll be little other internet things popping up. New free electricity things popping up, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, okay? Gold is the conduit of electricity. Just to put that out there. Our bodies also produce electricity too. Just to put that out there. Okay, who said that? Next, we also do this kind of off-grid thing, on-grid thing, kind of meshing between worlds, kind of talked about that. I know some of y'all that's looking at this is like, well, why don't can't we just live this life right now? Well, because, not saying, I'm right there with you, because we on the precipice of it all, but because we have been so manipulated, brainwashed, and melted into this society of this matrix of a world that we live in, it is going to be a little bit uncomfortable at first to integrate these things, because these things are going to take a little bit of time. But just know this, you can't do it all alone. You can't do it all by yourself, right? It's going to take a collective. It's going to take a community of people who mesh with you, who gel with you. You know what I mean? You could be the think piece of it. I'm not saying they don't take the time to visualize now, but this would be the time to do so and call in your tribe and what you want that tribe to look like, okay? All right? So, this is the time to build them digital sovereignty tools, right? If that's what you're being called to do, to start to separate yourself from the mainstream platforms and media and look for new ways, all right? And I would love to know, if y'all know any type of resources, please drop them down in the comments. Or if you want to join us on Discord, we'll also be talking about decentralization, Decentralize Me. Have a whole forum that I created specifically for that, as well as other forums too, just like astrology talk and things. If you want to join, it's free on Discord. That link is down below. You can also invest in, different things that you want to bring in that time. And when I say different things you want to bring in that time, look at the terrain and the land that you live in, right? What grows in that terrain? What grows in that place? What are some of the things you could trade in that place? Okay? Also, this is a good time to start to move stuff off of your phone, because the mark of the beast is coming. They're going to get to the point where they're like, you need an ID to sign in. You need an ID to use that bank, baby girl, baby boy, baby who, them, whatever. You need an ID to sign into these things, or you won't have access to the cloud no more. Your cloud is gone. Your memory is wiped, right? Hey, I'm just the messenger. So, this is the time, tip top, and it's time, all right, to take out this time to really figure out, all right, get it all out. It don't have to look perfect, it don't have to feel perfect. This will be the meditation, right? And I would say this will be the thing to ponder on, if you will. Okay, let's take a deep breath in. Okay, I just took a big breath out. Let's take a deep breath in. More time. Okay? In this time, what would you like? What do you see? What do you envision, not only for yourself, but what do you envision for the communities that you are calling in at this time? Where are you living? You know, what are you seeing on a day-to-day? What are the things that y'all are doing on a day-to-day? Are there kids there? Are there no kids there? Are there animals there? Are there no animals there? What's growing there, you know? What kind of homes are there? What kind of houses? What are you building there? What does the energy feel like? Who are the people that you're around? What do they feel like? What are they talking about on a day-to-day basis? You know? What does it feel like to be outside of the matrix, right? While still, you know, dibbling and dabbling, you know what I mean? I want y'all to really get crafty. You don't even have to write it down. Shit, you could make a dream board if you want to. You could go on Blender and make a, you know, Blender's free. You can make a whole, you know what I'm saying, board, mood board, whatever you want to do. Pinterest, I don't care. Okay? Start getting into the motion. And even if you don't feel like you have the resources right now, even if you don't feel like you have everything, quote unquote, you need at this moment, visualize it, put that shit down on paper, and continue to remind yourself that if it's in your mind, Aquarius, fixed air, the mental state, if it is in your mental, then at any given point in time, there's a possibility that that reality is very real, all right? So don't sleep, all right, on that. And don't sleep on what that has the potential, not only to what you visualize, but also what it can also expand into, especially when you start bringing tribe up in that bitch, all right? Because like I said, there's only so much you're going to be able to do alone. That's not to say it's very rare. I mean, unless you tough in this bitch, no avatar. Unless you tall, because she thugged it out in the woods for quite some time. You know what I mean? That's just the way she was built. You know? So unless you got tough energy, then you gon'... And when I say need, I'm not saying need in a transactional way, but needing community, people who see you, not just what you can do, but people who see you for exactly who you are. Right? And you know, for a matter of fact, no doubt about it, that y'all are on a divine and soul mission, and that you have been called and sent here together to fulfill what that looks like for you. Saturn and Aries, Neptune and Aries, and whatever your North Node happens to be, okay? And Midhaven too. All right? And whatever's going on in that 11th house, we'll put that in there as well too, you know? And I know y'all, like I said, I've been saying this a lot. I know that this is scary. I know a lot of this stuff because it's so, at least in this time period, it's so foreign to us. Like we ain't had to go against the grain like this, at least in this time. We ain't had to like step outside of ourselves for something like this when we're literally, quite literally, let's call it for what it is, are under attack. Spiritually and physically under attack. I know. It's a lot, but we have to start to step outside of what it is, okay? We have to start stepping outside of what it is and start stepping into what it is and what it could be and what it can be, right? Like that's the energy, right? Like I'm in a time right now in my spirit, in my energy where I'm just like, if you put me here, in this place, okay? If you put me here in this place at this place and right time, I know you didn't just put me here to drop me down. I know you ain't just put me here to just settle in this. And it's not to say that I'm just like, I'm not never satisfied, like I can't just be satisfied, but not with this, right? And I be goddamn, okay? If I leave my children, because eventually I do want to have children, preferably twins, you know, one day or another, I'm going to find you, I'm going to get you. But anyway, I'll be goddamn if I leave my children, okay, my family, okay, people I call my family, right, and also my community to be left with the shit, and knowing I had a hand in it, and knowing I had a hand in actually doing something about it as a living, breathing, able-bodied me, right? As a living, breathing, able-bodied me. All right? There's so many things we could do. Even, like I said, even the smallest things. Hosting a barter and trade in your community. Rallying up, passing out flyers. Even if you got to put that thing on, if you can't afford it, you got to put it on a notebook or something. Okay? Little things. Getting with other people who want to host and learn and learn about these different tools and teach each other these different things. And it don't have to be all serious. It could be fun. You can make it fun. You can make it fun learning about medicines and holistic health and learning how to take care of your body and working out and exercising, because we definitely going to need that. We're going to need to, get your stamina up, right? I'm telling myself, dude, the older I get, I'm like, whew. Walk up a couple of the steps, I'm like, God. So just let's get it on, let's get it popping. All right, I'm going to just leave y'all with that. Like I said, I will be here till in August, and then you can find me where I'm at, all right? So I'll definitely be on Discord. That link is below. Substack, if you like a personal reading, till the 11th, I'm doing donation-based readings as well, all right? That's on all readings and including the lives. Also, I'm trying to think real quick. Oh, and then I'm trying to figure out maybe if I want to go to PeerTube. But in the meantime, in between time, we'll have videos on Substack. So if you haven't subscribed to the Substack already, which is a free subscription, Substack has it where you can post videos directly inside the videos things there. So if you're interested and you're curious, and then we'll have monthly instead of weekly. I might pop on live here and there on the Discord every now and then, but we will definitely for sure have at least monthly lives where I pop on during up and around the new moon and things like that. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. You already know what it is. Much love to y'all. Much love to y'all that's always supported, that's been down since the beginning, middle, end. All right, you know what I'm saying? It was written. You know what I mean? I can't say anything else. It was written. We was bound to get here at some point in time, right? So y'all know what it is. It's Rainy Storm checking in, checking out. Without a doubt, deuces.